Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to a fantastic episode in which we're gonna have the first look of the new hero of the month of June, which is Mr. Quily, a hero exclusively for the tanks. Now first of all, let me start by adding the following thing. What a coincidence! We have the G.I. Joe 2.0 running already right now in the month of June, which technically gives us 2 heroes till now, but River Game thought, oh no, I think we still need a hero for the month of June. And at this point, it's very tough for me actually to follow this logic of the necessity of such a hero right now. On top of this, we have to mention that I understand and cherish River Game for giving players hero alternatives. But yet again, I'm hitting another logic wall right here to understand why this hero, which is by the way not a collaboration hero, is implemented while we are given the chance to unlock Brynhildr or have Brynhildr, because she is also not a hero tied to a collaboration event. So from my perspective, this would have been a far wiser decision to see another alternative to Asuka, because yes, I know we have Abad, but sadly he is only for the Air Force, while Asuka is universal hero. I would have loved to see an alternative to Striker. Again, yes, I know we have Duke, and yes, I know we have a great alternative with Mr. Shinji. But I think would have been a far better approach, but then again, this year is half gone, so probably we're gonna get a chance to see such heroes till the end of 2024. And the last but also super important thing which I would like to add is, if the developers indeed are expected to generate some kind of revenue from this hero Quily, then the game has to give players a very advanced hero testing tool, which we don't have active on a daily basis. We do indeed have one, which is the Alliance Honor match. So in other words, sure, we can always spot the difference between this hero and his alternative, and it would make perfect sense for River Game to launch the Alliance Honor match, but yet again, if they choose not to do that, just add this on the list of things which defies the logic yet again. So, from this perspective, if you read the hero description of Mr. Quily, the way he is designed, he is literally Brynhildr 2.0, which means, in other words, you know what, let's put Brynhildr on the right side of the screen and let's analyze these two heroes and see what conclusion can we get out of this. But I will also gonna mention in this episode what would be the possible combinations with Mr. Quily here. So first of all, we have to mention that both heroes, Quily and Brynhildr, are exclusively only for the tanks, which is, yeah, it is what it is. Then we have to mention that both heroes give an HP enhancement. So while Quily gives you a 65% HP increase, but just in the first round of the battle, Brynhildr gives you actually for the first 2 rows a 40%, which is slightly lower, but then for the back row gives you an 80% HP increase. Then we have to mention that both heroes have indeed an active skill. For Mr. Quily, after every regular attack from each army unit, there's a chance to trigger 3 attacks which will gonna deal 80% damage. While on the other side, Brynhildr allows the units in the first 2 rows to have a chance to proc and get 2 hits of 120. And on top of this, both heroes have the same passive skill. After all the units perform a regular attack, it will randomly apply 1 stack of 40% magnetic pulse to 2 slots, while in Brynhildr's case, it's gonna be just a 30% magnetic pulse, also for 2 slots. But after every regular attack of the units in the first 2 rows. Let's move to the special hero skill of Mr. Quily and actually compare this to Brynhildr yet again. And the level 3 always look the same for this hero, no point to mention this, it's just the attack of all units increased by 30%. But then the level 5 will allow this hero to add 1 more effect of magnetic pulse, and also on top, the effect of the magnetic pulse will be also increased by 60%. So when we have a look at Brynhildr, the magnetic pulse of the hero releases also +1, just like Quily here. but Brynhildr level 5 exclusive gives you one more hit from her proc. So she will gonna have 3 hits instead of the default 2 hits. And when we have a look at the level 7 of Mr. Quily, we get another magnetic pulse, and on top we get damage increase of 50% of his active skill, which is that 80% 3 hits. And when we have a look at Brynhildr, she is literally the same, 1 extra magnetic pulse coming from level 7, but on top she now gets a 60% improve on her magnetic pulse damage. So from this perspective, these heroes are extremely similar to each other. And the question will gonna be, what should be the first setup which we should test? And definitely one possibility is to start with an offense buffing hero, which nowadays can be Mr. Po, Mr. Gypsy, or Neely, super important hero when it comes down to this magnetic pulse, you're gonna understand in a second. As a second hero, yeah, sure, you can go with a hero with indestructible buff, which for the vast majority of the players is Mr. Duke, while they don't have access to Striker and Shinji. And as a third hero, yeah, Mr. Quily, and we can test that versus literally the same hero setup with Brynhildr, but there is another setup which I will definitely want to have a closer look at. In other words, I would like to see how Mr. Quily does together with Brynhildr. Which means, in other words, we have only 1 slot left for your 3 hero march, and this can only be an offense buffing hero, which at the same time has to have a possibility to deploy ASAP these magnetic pulses. Why is this the case? Because we know that the magnetic pulses can stack up to 5 per slot. In other words, once a slot has already 5 magnetic pulses, you cannot apply a new one. So therefore, from this perspective, we need the offense buffing hero called Neely. And sure, we have to mention that Asuka has also this capability to deploy ASAP these magnetic pulses in order to reapply them with Brynhildr and with Quill. But the problem with Asuka is, while she has a small offense buffing capability, that's really not enough to do this main job as an offense buffing hero. So anyways, beautiful people, this is the first approach on Mr. Quily, and I will also gonna test him versus the other strong alternatives for the tanks. Like for example, an offense buffing hero is Po or Mr. Gypsy. The second hero with the indestructible will be Striker or Mr. Duke. And as a third hero, yes, we have Snake Eyes, yes, we have Asuka. That is also a very strong setup. And it's going to be super important to see how Quill can perform actually versus these strong alternative setups in order to truly answer the question, is this hero indeed an alternative? Because for the vast majority of the players out there, this hero definitely looks like a case of a skippable hero. So beautiful people, as always, yeah, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to support what supports you back, which is, yes, this channel. In other words, yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this channel with your friends. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, don't forget to see me in the next episode. Ciao, guys.